Her father, her uncle, her grandfather. Half of Şemsiye Küçük's family was arrested in China because they are Uyghurs. For weeks, Şemsiye has been joining protests in front of the Chinese consulate in Istanbul. Everyone here has missing relatives. Everyone here hopes for a sign of life. These photos are all we have. We are not dangerous, we just want our families back. I don't understand why they're not being released and why nobody talks to us. Maybe they are afraid of us or afraid of the truth. 5,000 files are piled up in this car. 5,000 disappeared Uyghurs. Şemsiye and the other demonstrators have tried many times to hand the documents over to the Chinese consulate. But they have not been admitted. Not today either. At age 15, Şemsiye came to Istanbul. She grew up in Xinjiang, the home of the Muslim Uyghur minority in China. Her father wanted her to go to high school in Turkey. Now she is studying. She wants to be a nurse. Şemsiye has not had contact with her family for years. A friend of her mother's, who also lives here in Istanbul, is the only connection to her old life. From what I know, my father was arrested in May 2017 and taken to an internment camp in Xinjiang for re-education, as the Chinese authorities call it. I think he's in a terrible situation. I see many videos on social media where Uyghurs are forced to labor in the camps and in factories. One of these people could be my father. Stories like Şemsiye's can be heard by the dozen in the streets of Zeytinburnu. The Istanbul district is the center of the exiled Uyghur community in Turkey. But now their sanctuary seems to be at risk. Turkey could soon ratify its extradition treaty with China. Many Uyghurs who used to feel safe here are now afraid. Yusuf Ömer, for example, he works as a cook in a Uyghur restaurant. The thought of possible deportations worries him, even more than all the economic problems brought by the coronavirus crisis. If Turkey sends us back to China, they will put us in jail forever or shoot us dead. Lawyer Ibrahim Ergin represents many Uyghur refugees. He has a thick folder with extradition requests from China. There have been no deportations so far, says Ergin, but pressure from Beijing is growing. Especially during the coronavirus pandemic, Chinese investments have become very important for Turkey's troubled economy. Two major Chinese mobile phone companies have recently announced that they want to invest here. And Turkey relies on the Chinese-made vaccine. I think China uses all of that to exert pressure on Turkey. Chinese capital has become increasingly important for the Turkish economy in recent years. Port, for example, one of the country's largest container terminals, is now majority owned by a Chinese consortium. So is Istanbul's Sultan Selim Bridge. Does this make Turkey more accessible to Chinese interests? The ruling AK party denies that. This extradition treaty with China is about criminals. We have similar agreements with 32 other countries. It is extremely wrong to present it as an agreement against our Uyghur brothers and sisters. Şemsiye Küçük has always been grateful to the Turkish government for its support of the Uyghurs. But now she feels that something is changing. Should the extradition agreement with China be ratified, she fears, her name could also appear on a deportation list. I'm now an activist. The fact that I search for my father and other relatives makes me a criminal in China's eyes. And now I'm afraid that what has happened to others could one day happen to me. But Şemsiye does not want to give up her protest. be quiet, disappear in the crowd. She wants for the fate of her father and that of the many other disappeared Uyghurs to not be forgotten.